Greetings. Guten Tag, Talafalava. This is Dr. Snow Brown. It is lovely to catch up with you all, especially the snow shepherd. Right. Today, well, I hope you have been fascinated by what I've been posting on the community on my number 2 CKCTV YouTube channel. Well, welcome. Happy New Year. Yes. And of course, welcome. This is a brand new year. Yes, I did say, wasn't it, the 30th is the last day to file the restraining order. Well, it looks like it is going to happen. But also, you are all aware that on the 30th something is the date of the war. This is the World War III war, Haniban, Mr. Aka in Jawara. Well, I guess that date was specifically, I shifted back the 3-day war to the 30th of January. Now I've decided, let's move that. We'll still set that 3-day war date, 2028. But the 30th, well, I'm leaving it up. I'm leaving it up to the snow shepherds, to the Snow King Club congregation. Do as you will. Do as you please. Meaning, if there's something that you need to get off your chest, or if you want to retaliate, you want to pay back somebody, that is today. As for me, well, the last thing I want to encourage is, I don't even want to encourage any of my snow shepherds. In fact, I totally discourage you and dissuade you not to do anything silly on the 30th of January, next Monday, where you'll end up being arrested and, riding in a police car and joining the so-called, the rest of the recruits at the jailbird house. What I would suggest is that if you're going to, give a payback, because I've never done a payback, I think my preaching is unique, and it comes that way because, well, probably that's my form and my style of, not retaliation, but the illustration that is supposed to amend itself. Yeah, put things right. Even out the score. Even Stephen. That's correct. So I guess my style of preaching is a meek, natural pastor. That's great. Because a lot of them don't like it. But it's okay. I've had to put up with their treaty, so-called part-time partnership protocols in the last 40-odd years. So I'm sure you can put up with me. But don't forget, I am no longer part of your country. I am still here. Physically, I am here in New Zealand. This country is known as New Zealand. That's correct. I almost got sucked in thinking that this country was Aotearoa New Zealand. No, I beg to differ. Let me just put it straight up. The way I see the Maoris, just like the Aborigines, the way I see the Maoris in modern day contemporary times is that they are no different from any of the citizens here in New Zealand. I guess what I'm saying is that the treaty partnership, I can't even apply it, and I don't accept it because, well, if they had signed an agreement, that's correct, so that they could become citizens of England, English subjects or English citizenships, gain English citizenships, then automatically that citizenship was transferred to create New Zealand citizenship now. What I'm saying is that the current new citizenship that you've got is now a New Zealand citizenship. That's correct. They don't have, seriously, if I thought that the people of Aotearoa were separate from the rest of this country, we would hear that Aotearoa has got their own parliament. Aotearoa, the people of Aotearoa have got their own, own courts. The people of Aotearoa have got their own citizenship and other special, although I have heard that they do have their own economy. And of course, their language is now part of this country. The problem we have is that you've got the double system and it's doubling up the system. And I'm sorry, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Well, I should know. Do you think it's fair for me not to get any donations? Despite that, have been helping people with my ministry, my private company, in the last 5 years. Do you think it's fair? It's because of your treaty, apartheid, partnership protocols. That's the reason why I'm not getting any donations. And also your arbitrary dictatorships via the criminal organizations, criminal health protocols, that's another. And it really shows the arrogance of both parties, both Maoris and the Pakeha in this country. But I mean, all I gotta say, I'm gonna be very straight up and say, English. Now, I've got English heritage. I'm not looking, I'm not keen on, so, it's not an essential need to know about my, DNA analysis. But I know that when I do get the analysis and break it down, I'll let you know how much English I've got. But I will say this. English, you can go to hell. Maoris, you can go to hell. That's correct. Both of you. You better pray that I don't become the next sovereign head of your country. That's correct. Because, I don't know, I don't think King Charles III is up for the role, let alone the job. That's correct. If it were up to me, I would fight for that position because I know I've got the, the attributes. I've got the right attributes. I've got the right attitude. That's correct. Despite you might beg to differ, but at the end of the day, I know how to run your country, whereas your people don't seem to know how to run your own country. You got to get the white man to run your country. You're given the opportunity, but you don't do a good job. That's correct. And the problem is, if you weren't so jealous and racist, and your focus was so selfish, where it's all about you and your people, just like throughout the so-called, campaign with the so-called Prime Minister, it was mostly about the Maori people. That's correct. Majority of funding, promotion with media, exposure with media, the social media. I mean, it's understandable. They signed a treaty. But I'm saying there's no need for that kind of exposure and that kind of recognition, that kind of acknowledgement. I mean, come on now. That's correct. Even non-Maoris know, well, there's a lot of us who were born in this country. There's a lot of us whose, our parents, grandparents came here from England, came here from Germany, or came here from the islands. That's correct. But I mean, we're Pakeha, right? I should know. I'm going to enjoy it telling you what percentage, what percentage, what blood have I got when I get it. I wouldn't be surprised. But honestly, I don't give a damn about your treaty protocols and treaty partnership anymore because, well, the way I see it, your people are the most despicable and cunning, indigenous race in this country. Throughout my ministry, I've noticed, in the last 5 years since my ministry, since my company was registered, your people have taken advantage not only of my logo, of my play, of my rules. My gosh, there's been so many things that your people have taken advantage from somebody who is, at an income of $277.65. And yet your people have been getting billions and millions in the last 180 years, especially in the last 40 odd years. And even during so-called the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern's so-called time duration as the Prime Minister or the leader of this country, I've noticed, that's correct, care packages. I mean, it's been mostly about your people. It's just been so much love given to your people. So much aroha, that's correct. But none towards this one. I don't, what? It doesn't affect me, and I really don't care. Because I understand the mentality of the racist Pakeha, especially the English, that are in partnership with the racist Maoris in this country. I understand your rights under your so-called document that I would rather use as a toilet paper, to be honest, and burn it in the fire, than Fuck all. That's great. And shit. Why? Because, well, during my ministry and even up until now, I haven't seen anything positive, something good come my way. That's great. And I don't know, maybe the English are telling them, the white niggas are telling them, or maybe the KKK or MMB, I really don't care. It's telling them that, by the way, just ignore her. Don't give her anything. Don't, this is the typical, apathy from the racist, arrogant, to indigenous, to majority groups in this country that got one. They caused the dawn raid. Yeah, well, I wouldn't be surprised why they had the dawn raids. But of course, nobody cares. If you're not Maori, nobody cares. If you're not English, nobody cares. If you're not part of partnership, the treaty, blah, 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 nobody cares. Except, what would happen? If, let's say, if over 1 million, one of the most notorious German gang called the Schwarze Schwa leader, the president is, what's his name? Philip Schläfer. What would happen if over 1 million of them? If I summon and command that kind of group of people, that's great. To storm into your country, but no, that's not going to be the end of it. There's going to be another 1 million of police patrols, German police patrols, and also 1 million, possibly from Greece or Egypt, because remember, I'm a sovereign king, don't forget. Don't forget now, I'm a meek sovereign king. I can command anybody under my title of Chief Ichibam, Dr. Snow Brown. I can command anybody on this planet. And if I ask for 1 million, the gentleman, by the name of, they don't like him. Neither do I. I don't like him because, well, I'm not evil. That's great. But if I've got to take out a group of punks that the government of New Zealand couldn't discipline and couldn't arrest, like MFB, KKKs, and their associates, my God, they're going to be down, they will be wasted. If 1 million Schwarze Schwa would come from Germany, they would be wearing Nazi uniform, just as how I like it. That's correct. And they will be under my command. Like a lieutenant general. That's great. Now, of course, this is just an idea. This is just an illustration. That's great. But don't forget, if you're starting to see that every time the issues that I've been preaching about, you're starting to see it's actually coming to life, it's manifesting, and you actually saw it, then you know that what I'm preaching about is possibly prophecies. These are possibly, events that's going to premonition or events that are going to happen in the future. So if I were you, I'd take care of myself. I'd look after my property that you have dominion over. And when I say property that you have dominion over, that means your household. What's inside your property, in your own backyard, not in somebody else's backyard, that's correct? Or some other bird's backyard in another township or down the road. Because what I've learned about men that are in criminal organizations, because, well, I've lived here amongst them for the last 9 years. So they've been studying me. They've been learning a lot. That's great. They've learned to push my buttons. Well, I've been tested, all right. I've been prodded. I've been poked. That's great. I've been poisoned. I've been dragged. You name it. I have been tortured. You name it. These kind of men, they like to dictate to other women that are non-members, non-Maoris, non-members, not even members of the organization. That is what I've learned. But the way these men go about doing it, is that if they like a particular woman, and she's not a member of the organization, how do you suppose what are they going to do? Well, normally they would approach the person, and it would normally be one of their associates. As an illustration, it would be, Tavi Telebine. I taught Dr. Tavi Telebine. The MB would have approached him back in 1996. And they would have said, you know what, we have a job for you. We'd like you to set up that Afatia Baker's niece we've got an interest in. She seems like she's ready for the picking. We know her age. We know basically everything there is to know. That's the eldest of Ota Trevranas. But we want you to do this job, but we're going to pay you. We want to pay you well. So I guess this is exactly what happened. Now, of course, he was married. I wouldn't have known that that man was an associate, that organization with its members, and looks like your rallies as well, had actually set you up. That's correct. But that wasn't the end of that, because when they weren't satisfied, because they took, he took you wherever up there, and they obviously knew a lot of what was going on. That's great, because it looks like he was making fun of you and having a good laugh about it. Forgetting that I'm a royal, I'm a noble. That's correct. By the way, I'm also a German, full royal, and a German and a Scottish. Well, back then I wasn't a king. Now, as I stand here before you all, speaking to you, I'm 50 years old, but I sure as hell got my marbles, and I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm heading to. And also, I'm a king right now. And when you know yourself, who you are, oh, it's just go, go, go. That's correct. It's just a death penalty, death penalty, death penalty. That's correct. Is what I'm saying. I'm seeing lots of their associate people being arrested. I am seeing them, riding police cars, taken down to a police station to be processed. Seems to be an investigation, issue out a warrant of arrest, search warrants. They've even had to, search into their telecommunications to find out what exactly were your rallies doing, stalking the hell out of you via a bunch of criminals that I've got nothing to do with. That's correct. But like I said again, this organization has definitely targeted you, had an interest in you back from 96. And they were not satisfied, and they were not happy because they didn't get the, whatever it was they were after. So what did they do again? So they allowed you to have a little break. But of course, you were trying to recover from your mental illness during that time. And then they decided that after what happened to you in 1998, anyway, it's none of their business anyway. They decided, you know what, we're ready. Ready to try again? We're ready to try again. Let's set her up. 2001 with a computer course. She's not going to know anything. Well, we're going to drug her, of course. We're going to make sure that we drug her just enough so that she's not aware of the identity of that woman that came to set up at the computer course. That she won't pick up anything. We'll make sure of it. Because we want to set her up for the computer course so that so we can trick anybody else and mislead everybody thinking that she's one of our associates. And use whatever that encounter. That's right. Of course, she wouldn't know, the poor victim, that she's in for a surprise. She's going to be tortured. She's going to be taught lessons. She's even going to be raped by 2 police officers. Later on the 24th of June, 2003, during a lockup. And every time she makes a wrong move, she's going to be sexually abused or, somebody's going to have sex with her while she's asleep somewhere. Yeah, because I remember. So when I'm saying these kind of things, men like that, it's no wonder they thought that you could be their property. How they all came storming in, wanting to move in here at this address. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was a magnet for losers and desperados and punks who are after something, or they came here thinking, oh yeah, we have got to be among this noble. We've got to live next door to a Trevi. This won't there. This one we've been after her. That's correct. And this one we're going to teach her a lesson. because we're going to remind her what happened. She shouldn't have said those things about our treaty back in 2002 in her so-called, some sort of speech that she handed to the Human Rights Tribunal. We're going to remind her then. We're going to teach her all our protocols, our treaty protocols, the way that we control, discipline our women in this country, especially Maori, and especially, Indigenous women. We're going to teach her, all right? We're going to teach her a lesson. And they sure did. Can you imagine, anybody, how I would want a semi-automatic gun right now so I can put a bullet? And these kind of men who are not only arrogant, racist, but are really violent, they're likely to rape women, rape Maori women or Baka women in front of an English racist son of a bitch. You know that? Well, I mean, they know the full story, what their lifestyle is like and what they're about. I mean, it's not hard to figure out 2 and 2. That's great. I mean, seriously, New Zealand, do you really need over 70 criminal organizations? Do you know that the son of a bitch here inside this building has been applying a lot of their criminal harmful protocols and arbitrary dictatorships? Because you wouldn't care, because it doesn't affect any of you out there. But there's probably a lot of victims out there that have endured and have had to put up with the same nonsense that the Prime Minister and the rest of the ministers, the government of New Zealand, couldn't do a damn thing, let alone, discipline, let alone arrest or I don't know. I mean, hello, must be a reason why the police commissioners pay $700,000. So then what? Okay, you can sit on his desk and twiddle his finger and wait for a call to come in that we've got, a complaint that needs to be investigated. And he's going to say, just put it on the file. Oh, who is it? Oh, one of those, hey? Just ignore her. That's great. Just ignore him. If that's the attitude of the arrogant, racist son of a bitch English in this country, when it comes to people like myself, our complaints, like someone like Deborah's complaint, is so serious over one little petty, frivolous, willful trespass charge. But seriously, man, if you said that she died when I stuck that trespass notice on her door, I might see the point. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm getting about how petty the English are? Those willful trespass charges, I mean, I got to look at my criminal record. I mean, it was clean. It still is clean. I mean, if they were jealous also that I couldn't have sex with any of them, then I wasn't like a, easy come, easy kind of co, easy kind of gal. That's great. I just didn't, I didn't do anything that was bad enough for them or evil enough. But I mean, I really don't know where they came with the attitude thinking that, that they could target me, that they've got the right to discipline me. I mean, Matthew Palmer, seriously. I don't even know Matthew Palmer personally. I don't even know Anthony Shaw personally. And I don't even know Kevin Wilkes personally. Not even Wayne Henshaw. Not even Dennis Aldrich. That's great. Not even Stuart Mum. And not even Stuart Blake. That's great. Constable Stuart Blake. And not even, what's the other man? The Cardinal. But look at what these men actually are doing. And not even the son of a bitch here next door. And even the president in Awhatia Peka, and even Mr. Yoke there in Timarua. How they go through other men of that organization, or KKK, to discipline me. To dare discipline me. To tell me how to conduct my affairs. To try and control my freedom of speech and freedom of movement. You call your country a democratic country. And you got the nerve. I don't even know each of these men. That's great. A lot of them are married. Some of them have got, partners, and I really don't give a damn. Some of them have been divorced 4 times, twice, and whatnot. And they got the nerve to think they can tell me. You think you can discipline me, tell me how to run my life? At this age, even at 50? My God, get off my back. But I tell you what, you better watch that. Because next time you might not be so lucky, because I might just turn up with a gun and shoot you with it. Just to let you know that, hey, that kind of attitude of yours, you need to direct it to the women of either your organization or to the women that are under your household. Or maybe you need to go to jailbird. That's great. So that you can learn, hey, hello, that woman is not yours. You need to learn, that's great, to respect women's boundaries. But men like this who think they can dominate women through other men and dictate to their privileges and control, even deny their decision making behind their backs without their consent and authorization, especially the police officers. I'm sorry, you guys are seriously, no, I'm serious. This thing could get really ugly. It could call out all war. Do you want men that are married? Let's just, as an example. Do you want men in the military armed forces to have a fist fight, to have it all out with the local men who are married over their wives and over their spouses and daughters because they were trying to control their wives and trying to deny their wives' privileges? And they were also stalking them and harassing them through other men. That's great. Hey, because that's what you've been doing. All the men that I mentioned, they've been controlling me psychologically through other men. But you got no right to do that. That's correct. You got the fucking audacity. You're lucky I ain't no man. Because I would have a punch out with them, all of them. If I could just would want to have a boxing match with each one of you. That's correct. Just to tell you, hey, who do you think you are? Think you can control me through some other prick? Have you not got any conscience? Like, hello? There's only so much you can do. That's correct. But you got no right to dictate to women like me through other men. They don't pay my bills. They don't pay my dues. That's correct. They don't protect me from other men. They don't give me anything to elevate me. It is my Lord and my angels and my Holy Ghost family, my so-called 6 Holy Ghost children, that elevate me, as well as my deceased so beloved daddy. That's correct. They give me the dignity and the respect. Not, I don't get any respect or any recognition from the living. I get more respect and recognition from the dead. That's correct. You know that? And I what? Well, you can hear in my voice that I must have high self-esteem, but I must have a load and tons and tons of, courage and bravery, gallantry. Do I need a medal, that alone a Purple Heart? Do I need a St. George medal, that kind of medal, to be pinned on, on my shoulder? So that, to show to the whole of this country, New Zealand, that I have value? No, you see, my logo, that's great. The logo, my logo is so special. I know that. I knew it was a winner from the very first outset when I created it. With a purpose in mind. But what I didn't expect was that it was going to be taken advantage of. And it was going to be misused and used by the people of Aotearoa to promote, to show off out there to the world and to promote their culture and their language. The next thing I saw was all these fancy stuff. That's great. Coming out was like melody. Yeah. My God. But there was no love, of course, coming in the other direction. And I really don't care if there was none, because as I said, I am not part of your country anymore. You can tell if you enter my YouTube channel, you'll see my heart condition doesn't belong in this country. My heart condition belongs in the country called the United States of America. the land of the free, where the Statue of Liberty stands still there proudly for the whole of the Yankee Doodle to marvel at and believe in. Isn't it marvelous? It is great and wonderful. And you know, the funniest thing, everywhere I go around here in this local township, you know what? I don't mind being called Elmer. Not at all. Because when I leave your country, you will only see Dr. Snow Brown. You will only hear Dr. Snow Brown. And of course, you'll just, you know, you'll ignore it, of course. It's your right to. So my logo has nothing to do with your culture and your treaty partnership. The fact that I was, you know, how should I say it? That I was, I don't know, forthcoming, including in putting, you know, Aotearoa next to New Zealand, when ideally I should just put New Zealand. That's correct. And that would have saved, you know, the heartache and everything else. That's great. That, that's on my logo. That's just to say, you know what? This is the country that I come from. The demographic, the location where I am. But it doesn't stand anything. It has nothing to do with the treaty. That's great. Nothing to do with your treaty principles either. Man, they just seem to love taking advantage. They double or triple dip into the benefit pool. Don't lie. Because if I've got to bring 1 million Schwa with the German, you know, police, because we got a right, I'm a sovereign king, to investigate your benefit rates, and we drag out the whole list, that's great, and we discover that New Zealand, when the new Prime Minister came in, Right Honourable Chris Hipkins, suddenly the benefits of all the criminals got halved, went down, got reduced. Now, do you wonder why? And all these years, that's great. They've been getting more money than anybody else. If we got to compare and check everybody's benefit rates, I'd be very disappointed. But I wouldn't be surprised. If they've been double dipping after all. Been stealing, haven't you? You're lying, son of a bitch. Son of a bitch, that's great. You've been stealing. Well, I think it's understandably, you not only stole from the funding over the years through your so-called treaty bullshit document, that's great, partnership, but you stole from me as well without payment. How marvelous. But you use the excuse that because, well, you know, she's got a sickness, you know. That's why people don't pay, don't waste your money. Don't give her any donation. How marvelous. And what if I turn around and whoop your asses and bury the most of you? That's great. If I declare war onto you, well, I'd already declared being a sovereign head. Like I said, King Charles III, he's not capable. He's not. He doesn't have the credentials, the attributes that Queen Elizabeth had. But even Queen Elizabeth II, being the sovereign head of New Zealand, she was not a good sovereign head. Did you know that? No, she wasn't a good sovereign head because she allowed the government of New Zealand and the rest of the people of Aotearoa to steal and double dip and triple dip and take advantage of everybody else in almost every aspect of this country. Whether it be the system or anywhere else, the Maoris, they just seem to take the mickey. Yeah, and take the whole thing. That's great. Then at the end of it, we're only left with just a midget, just the crumbs. That's great. Can you imagine, like, you know, I'm on an income of $277.65 a week. I create a logo. That's great. Out of nothing. But mind you, I paid, for the devices that I use to create my logo. And here they are, the people, the very people, that not only won their claims, got their claims through the Land Tribunal, billions of it, got paid over $750 million for their so-called, health care, whatnot. They have that built. They've been given a lot of money and a lot of love and care packages and so forth during the so-called pandemic. And guess what? There's such... They would rather take my logo over the logos that they've been creating with all the millions and the billions. That's correct. That they've been paid by the crown. They would rather steal what I've got than I'd earned the right way. That's correct. My blessings. And use some excuse, use some lawyer to control me again psychologically. And I suddenly realized, I learned yesterday, or was it today? Yesterday, I think, that lawyer's order of supervision, really, it was really to discipline. It was really a form of disciplinarian kind of, strategy. Again, who does he think he is? Drugging me for over 7 years? I wasn't even a dangerous criminal. Hey, you got to check out my criminal record. That's correct. And then you got to compare it to all those decisions that you got. And I'm thinking, so what exactly are those decisions for? Because it looks like it was more to discipline you and to teach you lessons, to control you psychologically, but was more to discipline you. That's correct. Yeah, but why? Was I married to some son of a bitch that I don't know about? Secretly? Did the people of Aotearoa and set you up so that you could be married to someone that I had no idea I was married to? That's correct. And this is just a joke. I wouldn't be surprised because the people of Aotearoa are so despicable. That's correct. They set you up by the so-called police, the so-called computer course, and then to have you done by, the police officer. Whom, at the moment, the remedy he needs his eyes to be removed because he is a sick man. But if he wants to avoid jailbird, he should have his eyes removed so that he never has to look at any other victim. That's great. And he never has to have the feelings of being sick with erotomania, wanting to have the urges of wanting to have sex, wanting to, violate somebody. That's great. Man, he'll be healed overnight for sure. If they had that, if you had to go that operation, well, at least you will avoid, jailbird. I tell you right now, Matthew Palmer is about ready to enter jailbird. But it's ridiculous for a Chief Justice at this age. I don't know how old the son of a bitch is. It's probably 60 or heading to 70. And, it's just so dumb for him to end up going to jailbird with that lawyer, in their so-called almost 70s now. That's correct. There's no way to, what? No way to what? No way to function in the old pension age. That's correct. My goodness. You're thinking, what planet did I fall from? Or did I drop from? Don't worry. Because what I'm preaching about, I hope it, it hits home. I hope it hits home. I hope it ticks over. Because I know my brain has been ticking over quite a bit. I guess what I discover also during my so-called ministry is that probably one of the most powerful weapons, my most powerful weapon, instrument that my God gave me is my brain. That's correct. Now, I don't know what size my brain is or how heavy my brain is, but I know that this is the one place that no government of New Zealand, not even the police force of New Zealand, not even the criminals can beat me when it comes to my brain. Provided when they don't drug you and when they don't, poison you and play around with you, that you start to have hallucinations or some sort of delirium or delusions of some sort. Man, I'd be so bright. I'd be too powerful. I'd be too bright. I'd just outperform Sergeant Kennedy there at the local police station. In fact, I've just I've just sacked her from your job. Get it? I think I could easily take your job any day. Why? Because, well, if they didn't drug you, I would be too bright. And I'm not showing off about it, of course. And I'm trying to be smuggy either, or smarty pants. That's correct. I'm laying it down as it is. But anyway, let's cut this long story short, eh? You all pray for me regarding the so-called restraining order that I hope to file either on Friday the 27th or next Monday. Because it is going to be filed. And then when it's filed, and I'm going to be going to court to deal with it by myself, things are going to happen. There is going to be a shift. And you're going to see that stuff, stuff move. There is going to be a shift in the energy. Even the weather patterns well, let's hope the whole weather is going to change. Mother Nature is going to come alive. Something miraculous, I hope, is going to happen when I file the restraining order. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's been a long, hard road. It has been hard going. But it's also great to know that the end is nearing. That there is a rainbow at the end. And after all, there is the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, I'm not about to quit. Does it look like I'm going to quit, honey man? Does it look like I'm going to lose my marbles any day soon? And then I'm going to ask Scotty to beam me up? The planet Pluto? No. Oh, and this is probably the second weapon, my second most valuable instrument that I use for my ministry is my mouthpiece. I let my Lord speak through it, through the guiding angels of the Archangel Warrior, without fear and without prejudice. But like I said, I want to end this preaching and say to the English, you can go to hell, you can go to hell. And to the Maoris, you can both go to hell. That's great. You can go to hell. That's right. But don't what? Just be careful. Don't try anymore. I'd already served 3 trespass notices. No, I want to say thank you to the government of New Zealand, especially to Right Honourable the Prime Minister, Right Honourable Jacinda Ardern. I want to thank you very much, Prime Minister, for stepping down, for handing in your resignation when you knew, well, she obviously knew that it was the right time and that it was for the best. Not only for the best, for people like me, but for the rest of, especially for minorities who have been suffering during your so-called, campaign, during your time as Prime Minister, who has been suffering in secret. That's correct. So I'm very happy with the outcome, Prime Minister. All the very best. And I'm sure you'll probably say the same to me. But as far as I'm concerned, like I said, I know where I'm going. And I know what's coming. So for all of you, again, you can all stick it. I don't need your money. I don't need your donations. I don't need your recognitions. In fact, I don't need your acknowledgement. Because I guess I hold in my hand the Golden Globe. And this Golden Globe is the anointed Jacob, the anointed rock, the rock that Jesus said, this is the rock, the cornerstone of my church. This is everything to me. And this is all I'm taking with me when I go to America, and my play and my rules. If you think you know how to apply my rules, I'll tell you right now. The Catholic Church doesn't own my rules and all my play. The Queen Brown that I worship in my little faith, right, it's a different Holy Mother, different Holy Mother. The one that the Catholic Church, worships is different. It's different. The Catholic Church doesn't worship Holy Mother, but I do. The Catholic Church doesn't accept, female pastors. But I do. So, this is all I need. This is my golden globe right here. Oh, Goliath, there's no messing with me. That's correct. I am a force to be reckoned with. I might stand here, my pockets completely empty. And I have nothing, no support. But don't be fooled, don't be fooled. Just like how they thought, when David was just a shepherd boy. And when Goliath was standing over there from the Philistine side, it came out of nowhere, that's correct. Well, David went out and said to King Saul, let me have a go. Let me challenge this giant, this pathetic giant, that's correct. Let me prove to him that my God is stronger. Be careful what you wish for, New Zealand. Be very careful. Because somebody like me might be the next sovereign head of New Zealand. Might be the next police commissioner, or might be the next dictator. Like Adolf Hitler, only it's a job for the kingdom. It's not because I want to annihilate and eradicate you. It's because your people needs to be disciplined. They need to be taught lessons. That's great. Somebody ought to do it. I'm the only one that's prepared to do the job. Because the police commissioner's not up for it. And King Charles III, well, there's no way he wants to cross people like that. They'll not have to deal with them. That's great. He's not about to start World War III. That's great. In fact, he would rather say, you know what, I want to delegate the job of sovereign head to somebody else in your country. Because I don't want my monarch to be overthrown. I don't want my monarch, any members of my monarch, to be, to be targeted, let alone challenged. Well, why not get the Maori king? I'm sure that he would be, up for the job. But then again, he's so unfit. He'd make a very bad sovereign head. I'm sorry, but he won't last. Yeah. Like I said, we'll have a nice evening, a lovely week. And as Dr. Alan Mandel always said, make it a great day. Make it a great day. For my snow sheep, snow shepherds, precious little munchkins, precious little sorry, make your wishes, make your wishes. That's correct. But make it a great day. Also, go outside and see if you can find your own anointed dream rock, like this rock here. Go and hunt for your rock. See if you can earn your rock somewhere out there. So that you can be more prepared. So that you can make it a great day every day, I suppose. Well, in Jesus' name I declare it, amen. In the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen.